日本時間6月9日、42勝24敗で、ナリーグ西地区のペナントをリードしているドジャース。この日は、次戦のパイレーツ戦へ向けて、チャーター機に乗り込む選手たちを公開しました。また、各米メディアでは、エンゼルス戦で圧巻の投球を見せた、ドジャースの佐々木朗希投手の復活劇の話題で、盛り上がりを見せていました。ここからは、その様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
Top of the food chain, the Dodgers I mentioned are taking over. It's funny, Tyler Glass now hits the IL, but Roki Sasaki seems to have found his stride. Thank goodness. I'd hate to see the Dodgers, not be, fully loaded and destroying the league. Where is Roki now? He's supposed to be a superstar, has not quite gotten there. Is he getting there now?
I love this. He is getting there. In his last 4 starts, he's been one of the best pitchers in the game of baseball. And this kid is 24 years old, Brian. 24, coming over from MPB in Japan, and now he's as promised, seemingly, these last few starts he has been. A 10 strikeout game in his last start. Fastball's back up to 98, 99. His splitter is doing what we thought it would do. He's got a 154 batting average against with that splitter. He totally revamped it. I just feel like, and Dave Roberts said as much, we're seeing what we saw via video in Japan, and it's not fair to expect that of him immediately. I feel like we got a little bit numb because of Yamamoto, who was 25, by the way, when he made his debut. Roki's still 24. And Shohei Ohtani. Shohei is Shohei. I look no further than Tatsuya Imai this year with the Astros. He's 28, and he came over and said everything is different, and I'm just not there yet. The travel, the food, the hotels, on the field, the mound, the baseball, and it's all catching up to me. Roki Sasaki is building his confidence, and he's getting more comfortable as a 24-year-old in the United States where he's not from, and we're seeing that now, and I'm really happy for him.
A lot of good points there. True, like we expected. We've been spoiled by immediate success by many Japanese pitchers. It has taken him a little while.
Travis, can you give us a quick introduction just for those that are first meeting you today, our viewers?
Absolutely. My name is Travis Smith. I'm the head strength and conditioning coach with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Been here now. This is going on my 14th season.
Awesome. So, been here 13, 14 seasons. Congratulations on that mark. But I want to start off with last night because Roki Sasaki, he had his best start of his young Dodgers career, struck out 10 Angels batters. I couldn't help but notice you were one of the first people that he came up to in the dugout afterwards. You guys were laughing and smiling. You've been working with him since he joined the Dodgers a season and a half ago. What are some of the biggest improvements he's made in the work that you guys do together that have led to the success that we've seen recently from him?
Yeah, I don't know about, leading to the success, and a lot of people now getting interviews just about working with Roki. Dave Roberts said that, he'd been working with me, and yes, we've been working together for quite some time, starting end of last year. Just being able to see all the work that he put in during rehab come into fruition, performing in the playoffs, doing great things. But really just seeing Roki be consistent, putting in work ethic. He has work ethic, and just really just pushing him to be better each and every day. And so seeing it play out, this is exactly what we thought it was and what our organization believed it would be. And so I'm just excited to see it happen.
So you told Jack Harris that Roki's sitting at around 205 pounds right now, even though MLB lists him at 187. How much of that do you think is diet changes, and have you helped Roki kind of select some meal plans or kind of put new things into his diet when he came to America? Much different diet probably than when he was pitching over in Japan.
Yeah, actually Roki has his own nutritionist, own chef, so he's doing all of that on his own. More so, I think, just being able to, like I said, lift consistently. Being able to add more load to his training has helped him put on more weight. And then understanding, as he does that, he's able to, eat more, get more calories in him. And then taking what he did this offseason, putting it all together, coming in and in better shape, or actually more muscle. And I think that little weight gain. And I would say more so, probably gaining 10 pounds, more so than from 187 to 205.
Now, Travis, I've compiled a couple of viral videos with you that have gone viral over the years, so you and I are going to react to them together, and if you could give me a backstory on some of them, that would be awesome. We'll start off with...
Hey, you need a wheelbarrow.
Classic one right there. That one went viral. Not just the video, but the picture that John Suhu took of you guys bowing down.
Yep.
And then your famous quote. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Honestly, man, it just came off the dome. Really, I talk to the guys. I try to be the biggest cheerleader, man, and pump them up throughout the day. That's a little bit of the football in me, just trying to be the hype man. Everywhere I go, when I played, as a coach, I want to continue to encourage players every single day. And for Yama or whoever comes up big, man, I want to let them know, man, that they're the man, they're a beast. And so, having, I don't know if I can say it, but I didn't even know that they were going to post that. But being, posting that, I thought it's like, they sent me a text like, hey, are you going to get in trouble for doing that? I was like, I don't think so. But I'm just trying to be the hype man. That's it.
I mean, and I feel like if there was any time to say that, that was the time. So, everybody will give you a pass on that one.
Dodgers ran right over the Halos in their freeway series, taking 2 out of 3. Good for the southern part of L.A. They did salvage something on Sunday with a big win. Friday night, though, the big news was Freddie Freeman had the walk-off homer, but the headliner might have been Roki Sasaki, who ate up the Angels for a second time this season.
Another 0-2, and another strikeout for Roki Sasaki. 10 for the first time in his career. Sasaki will be arriving tonight. Best game of his career, Roki Sasaki. That's all he does against the Angels.
This is the guy that we saw in video in Japan, and that we hope to get. I think that we're all guilty of expecting it to be seamless, and certainly unfair to Roki, and not appreciating that there has to be some transition period. And he's went through some tough times and some doubts, but he's gotten to the other side.
I want to focus on the last line by Dave Roberts. Has Roki gotten to the other side?
Yeah, because I think there's some tangible things you can point to. And he's right. Like, I don't think we gave him any sort of grace period coming over from Japan. We just expect him to be Shohei or Yamamoto, that's just not always the case. And what we've seen, though, is a few mechanical adjustments that have kind of unlocked some velo for him. And he ditched his forkball for a splitter. Those strikeouts were showing there. That pitch is disgusting, Chris. Like, you're not going to hit that. So the velo's bumped up not only on his fastball, which he was touching 100, averaging 98, but the forkball used to be around 84 miles an hour. So it comes like a big difference. Mm-hmm. And as a hitter, you can kind of see that out of the hand a little better, helps you recognize a pitch. The splitter is playing up upwards of 90, 91 miles an hour. So the velo's a little closer together, and it's just moving like crazy. He's reshaped his slider, like all these things that he's done, he's turning into like Dave said, someone that they saw on tape what they imagined. So like, is it there for good? I think everyone wants to see a little bit more starts. I mean, last 4 starts, he's been really, really good. And there is evidence that it's not just a random 4 games. Like, he's gotten better because of the velo. So I'd say, yeah, I think like the Dodgers need it. I think that he has changed, and I think we are going to start to see more starts like this. Maybe not as dominant as this all the time, but think about the fact that they have him for another, 5 more years, Chris?
Under control, right?
Crazy.
So 2 of those 4 starts have come against the Angels. We know the Angels aren't a great baseball team. Here's the stat lines. 14 innings pitched, 1 run allowed, 6 hits, 18 Ks, and I think 2 walks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Last 4 starts, 24 1/3, 4 earned, 29 Ks, 5 walks. That makes it sound like he's arrived. I still do wonder what they're going to do with him down the stretch. There's a lot that's going on, right? Because Blake Snell's thrown 1 game this year. We don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back. But you would imagine that if he is indeed healthy, that Blake Snell's going to be part of this. Tyler Glasnow just got moved to the 60-day because of a bad back. They thought that was going to be a minimum stay for him on the injured list. That is not where it is. But we're not talking about major back surgery here or anything, and you would think he would be back at some point as well. Yamamoto, Shohei, Snell, Glasnow, Robleski, who might be an all-star as well and has pitched great. Emmett Sheehan is obviously the guy that's going to be moved to the bullpen. No questions asked. I am curious where he will end up once they get to October. And I don't think that's a bad thing. That's no shot at Roki. It's just they have such an embarrassment of riches and guys who have had stellar careers that it'll be interesting.
Yeah, you're paring your rotation down to 4 max in the playoffs. Some teams go even lower than that. So yeah, I mean, is there a world where we see him go back and into that bullpen or piggyback or whatever it is? Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. But yeah, that's more not because of him, like you said. It's more just they got too many good pitchers.
Yeah, and I thought Dave Roberts made a point which we have tried to harp on whenever guys come over. Excuse me, and it's not just Japan. I mean, it's guys who are young guys, maybe from the Dominican or Venezuela or wherever you could be from around the world. There is an adjustment, and we say it all the time. How would you be if you got dropped off in another country at a young age? And Roki was 23 when he got over here, and there were times where he did look scared. Like, he looked like, my God, what have I gotten myself into? And you can totally understand that. Totally. Some of these other guys are more polished. Maybe they have bigger personalities. Like when Shota got over here, Shota was like, bring it on. I want to be a part of all of it, right? Murakami seems as confident as can be the minute he got over here. And he's been a big part of what they've done on the south side of Chicago. But everybody's different. So I'm happy that Dave brought that point out publicly. I thought that was an important one.
There's a great article out right now. I actually just did an award for Roki. I don't want to mess up the guy's name.
You did an award for him
on Talking Baseball.
Right.
Fabian Ardaya, who writes for The Athletic, he wrote a big article about like kind of Roki and what he's done, and he brought up, which I had forgotten about, when Roki came over here and was deciding what team he was going to go with. He talked about how he basically went to each team and said, "How would you fix me?" Because the velo was down his last year in Japan. So I just like the story, man. Like that to me, that's also like it's funny, number one, thinking about him being like, "How would you fix me? Do you want to sign me?" Like him interviewing them, but also it just shows like, hey, he's willing to make adjustments and he's made them now. He talked a little bit about the adjustments, like just kind of like small tweaks here and there that have finally all added up together. Now we're seeing what may be the best version of him.
Roki Sasaki, 7 scoreless, 10 Ks in the pride hat. Call him Woki Sasaki. Best start of his big league career, and the Dodgers win 1-0. Yeah, I thought about that one this morning. I felt really good about it. I didn't write it down because I didn't want you to see the joke, but
it's a good joke.
I'll take a half victory lap for Woki Sasaki.
That was
That's
great.
Good.
Roki, wear the pride hat every time. It's working.
Always.
This is
You're
great.
the opposite of Blake Trinan. Right?
He should be
Trinan,
he should be wearing this.
Who won't wear this?
He should be wearing this in August. Right. Like, come on. This is like, this is a no-brainer.
It raises an interesting question. It raises a very interesting question. If Blake Trinan's allowed to not wear the pride hat, couldn't Roki be allowed to wear it all the time?
100%. Absolutely. At least for the rest of the month. My goodness. Right. I know they had it for Pride.
For the rest of Pride Month.
But yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Woki,
this is
locked in.
We love it. So, jokes aside, this is great. This is why you wear the pride hat, because we're seeing this is exposure. These are positive highlights of Roki Sasaki that we get to watch over and over and over and over. If Roki Sasaki goes on to become one of the best pitchers in baseball, we will come back and be like, oh, remember that start? Remember that start on Pride Night in June of 2026 when he figured it out, when he was sitting 99, when that splitter was absolutely splitting and the slider was sliding and the velo was there and the mechanics were all in sync and the Angels were really bad, just like they always are. But Roki was the story of the weekend for the Dodgers. Well, right. Yeah. Roki is the story of the weekend for the Dodgers, and we'll dig into him more. But Roki, though, this is the one because the variance with Roki has been the ultimate wild card. And for the first time since he got here, sure, he had some spurts in relief last year where it was like, oh, there's Roki. This is what it was supposed to look like. Sitting 99, the fastball shape is better. The splitter is unbelievable. And by the way, the splitter is unbelievable because the fastball is actually good now. The splitter was
That's
still
the whole
pretty...
thing. It's the whole thing.
what made that pitch so amazing is that it was still pretty effective when he was terrible for the last year and a half. But now if he has the velocity back and the fastball's playing like it is, well, now you have no chance against that pitch. And now we can say, I don't know. This is a massive deal if Rocky's going to start looking like this. He has to stay healthy. He still has a lot to prove. He's got to do it against teams that aren't the Angels. But listen, people might get tired of us talking about this, but if he has now shown us the range of one of the worst pitchers in baseball, which is what he looked like for extended periods, to now what we just saw on Friday, which could be one of the best. And that is not an insignificant development.
This is why we've been talking about him so much. This is why you talk about this guy, right? Because the ceiling was always this. And I think that the concern was real at the beginning of the year, because I think there was a path in which his struggles on the field contributed to kind of some sort of approach mental, inconsistencies. And you could see that kind of spiraling on a guy, right? Yep. Like, should he be demoted? Does he belong on this team? Now, the Dodgers had the leeway and the runway to give him because they are the Dodgers. But remember, this is the best pitching development group, at least at the big league level, really maybe we have ever seen, right? I think, I feel like one of the best. This is what, like Mark Pryor and like that group, what they have done over the years is just unthinkable, right? It's unbelievable. And so I'm not like floored that they've gotten Roki Sasaki to a point where he looks like this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's weird because everything with Roki has been so strange because it's not like they just came up. I mean, maybe they did just come up with ideas. How much of it is just on him to take to the instruction?
I don't think they just came up with ideas. I think what the Dodgers, like, what they've understood is that they have time. With Roki, they have time. And that was a luxury to show him what wasn't working and why. The best way to get someone to listen to you in life is for them to fail, is for them to struggle, to scuffle, right? Like, that's how you get buy-in with anything, right? And I think that the Dodgers, Mark Pryor, Connor McGinnis, that whole group, like, I think they understood that dynamic. And they knew that eventually Roki would come back to them, right? And I think that is, I'm going to go see them this week and I'll ask around and find out more. But like, Roki seems to have taken a step forward, not just like on the mound with his mechanics, but also with his attitude. Dave Roberts, Dodgers manager, he says stuff, dude. Dave says stuff. He had a kind of a wild quote where he said, in talking about Roki, where he's at now, we all felt sorry for him and sad for him, and now he's arrived as an adult and as a major league player. That is kind of striking because you're saying that like you had a child for you.
I mean,
and
let's be honest,
some things that I had heard about Roki, where like a lot of the dudes around the Dodgers would be like, this guy's kind of a baby. He's kind of a child. He's pretty pouty, and like, now I'm sure the language barrier was a part of that, but seems like he is kind of getting more integrated into being a real member of this team.
And it's also very possible that the Dodgers knew that all along. Remember, the context of all of this is still absurd because it's not like they had to give him $150 million. It's a different calculus. They were able to sign him. Sure, they used their whole international bonus pool, but the risk reward is undeniable. Even if you knew he was had any amount of attitude problem off the field, let alone injury history, let alone mechanical inconsistencies and all the other things. But this is the whole point. You get one start like this, you're seeing why everyone would be trying to get this guy. The fact that it took a year and a half to get there is compelling and weird and whatever.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。